time I see one of those old birds fly, it's like a window to another time. You know, when I helped the pilot climb into the cockpit, he just sat there for a minute. I thought he was having second thoughts about flying there. When he finally spoke, he said he searched a long time for a plane like that.
Isn't it something how the thought of soaring in the clouds in one of those vintage planes can transform a grown man into a dreamer?
A grown man, a grown woman, or a child. If it weren't for the dreams of pilots like Amelia Earhart, James Herman Banning, Charles Lindbergh, or T. Claude Ryan, we might not have found our wings and discovered that the sky is no longer the limit, but home.
And you know what? I think I hear him circling back around. Come on, guys, let's go watch him land. Woohoo! Come on, boys.
To us, it's a bit of history. But back then, a sight like that, Jenny, was just another day at the airfield. You know, they all eventually came here, to California, where wide open spaces and good thermal winds provided near perfect conditions for flying. It was once said that man's mind and spirit grow with the space in which they are allowed to operate. Well, the California skies provided that space. Flying fostered fantasies of childhood and stirred our capacity to dream. And those dreams took us higher, faster, and further than anyone ever thought possible. You know, Amelia Earhart once said, "You haven't seen a tree until you've seen its shadow from the sky." She was right. I hope you all get the chance to view your world from that same perspective.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the chairman of the Walt Disney Parks and Resorts, Mr. Paul Pressler.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Disney's California Adventure. What started as an idea back in August of 1995 is today realized as a place to discover the beauty, diversity, whimsy, excitement of the ultimate California experience. Sunshine, surf, the silver screen, Napa Valley vineyards, and the Redwood Line trails, a slightly irreverent pop culture, and a celebration of individuality and diversity are all waiting to be discovered here at Disney's California Adventure. Today, we welcome you to Disney's newest and most unique theme park yet, and we invite you to explore the adventures from within. One of our newest and most exciting adventures is here in Condor Flats. This high desert airfield pays tribute to the daredevils and dreamers who led us from the barnstorming age to the space age, and is home to the preeminent flight adventure of Soarin over California. From early existence, man has looked to the sky with dreams of one day experiencing the thrill of flight. It was in California that many of those dreams were first realized. Soarin over California celebrates the dreams and the spirit of aviation with exhilarating airborne adventure over the spectacular sights of the Golden State. I would now like to introduce two aviators who continue to test the limits of aeronautics. With modern-day dreams of breaking one of aviation's last records, these two collaborated to build and then fly a very unique aircraft that carried them non-stop around the world in 9 days, 3 minutes, and 44 seconds. The aircraft was the Voyager, which took off from Edwards Air Force Base right here in California. Please welcome two modern-day aeronautic adventurers, Dick Rutan and Jeana Yeager.
Thank you, Mr. Pressler. It's more than a pleasure to be here today and be a part of this California adventure. The one thing that Voyager did for me was validate that anything is possible, even the impossible. The seeds of tomorrow are more than just random thoughts. They are what we build tomorrow with. Our dream was to circumnavigate the world non-stop, non-refueled. We took an idea and formulated on paper from paper, we rolled up our sleeves and built a vehicle of our dreams. That was the Voyager. We spent years testing the aircraft and testing ourselves, and on December 14th to 23rd, we did around the world, non-stop, non-refueled. 9 days, 3 minutes, 44 seconds. We landed back at Edwards Air Force Base and achieved our goal and what many consider to be impossible. Dreams can be true.
My first day spent soaring over California seems like yesterday. I was 6 years old, and the days of barnstorming were upon us. I begged and begged my mom to take me, and one day, armed with a fistful of hard-earned $1 bills, we found our plane. I still remember the smell of that old plane and its sun-eaten seats. I pleaded with my mom to let me stand during the flight so I could see out of the windows. It took just moments of seeing the earth from the air that would change my life forever. My brother Bert and I spent a lot of time building and flying model airplanes. I'd fly them until they crashed. Bert entered a lot of contests and won many awards in model airplanes. And one letter written almost 43 years ago to my mother from a Beech aircraft executive who said, "I hope too, since Bert is so air-minded, that he can use his talent and perhaps someday he will become an aeronautical engineer." We talked our dad into buying a plane, and we spent as much time as possible flying with Pop. We went to many air shows, and I would see the big fighter jets. And I want to fly one of those days. I want to fly one of those planes one day, I would tell my mom. And she would say, "Dick, you can do anything that you set your mind to." And she was right. I took lessons when I was 15. And the day I turned 16, and before I even got my driver's license, I was in command of an airplane, flying solo. I went on to fly those big fighter jets in Vietnam, and after I returned from the Air Force, I did some test pilot work for the most ingenious aircraft designer in the world. He went on to design and build dozens of different airplanes, including the Voyager. And today it is my pleasure to introduce that ingenious aircraft designer. Ladies and gentlemen, my brother, Mr. Bert Rutan. Bert's design of the Voyager made the impossible possible. Jeana and I flew around the world without stopping and without refueling. I later went on to fly another one of Bert's designs, a long easy, around the world, this time with many stops on the EAA Spirit of Friendship tour. Bert also designed a capsule so I could fly around the world in a balloon. But that project was halted when another team captured the world's records. But I don't think we're through dreaming of setting records. We'll never be through. I've learned that if you can dream it, you can do it. One can only wonder how many other aviation dreams will be launched with this soaring over California attraction. All it takes is seeing the sky, or seeing the earth from the sky. Thank you for joining us today as this exciting new piece of Disney history begins. And remember, you're only limited by what you can dream. Thank you very much.
As a pioneer aviator and builder of the Spirit of St. Louis, T. Claude Ryan once said, "I remember my very first flight. As the beautiful rolling hills of California spread out below me, I felt freedom. Perhaps years to come, others can be helped to enjoy the sight of clouds all around you, of sunrise, of sunsets, while soaring above the cities, farms, and rivers of California, unfettered. May today you discover the same freedom of flight as you embark on our newest adventure, soaring over California."
Ladies and gentlemen, please join us on the inaugural flight of Soarin' over California.